All right, Khan, Shalom, Shalom. First of all, I just want to give all praise to Abba Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Yahweh Kakodash, the bonds be to the elders and apostles, great millstone, who taught us to the spirit, peace and much love, and salutations to the hope of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latino, named America, you are the children of Israel according to the Bible. Hatara God seek in 2022 is their Lord Yahweh Shai. All right, I'm the brother Yamaya, so y'all sanctified ones just coming to bring a breakdown of Revelation 12th chapter. Just through the spirit. Sorry we broke it down. The other apostle already went through it. But what I'm saying? I just want to, go into it as well, for it to be edifying to the whole collective Israel. All right, this is Revelation 12:1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon, and the sun and the moon represents wisdom, and the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. She's speaking about Israel. And she being with child, carried in travail and birth, and pain to be delivered. All right. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head, speaking about the Roman Empire. All right, and he drew his his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and cast them into the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to deliver her child as soon as it was born. And this red dragon with the tail, speaking about Herod, because Herod at that time he was that dragon, but which also goes into the Roman Empire. At the time the Roman Empire, they were ruling in the time of the beginning, the birth of Yahweh Shai. All right, and when the ones that drew the third parts of heaven was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay, because the rest of the tribes was already dispersed. They were already gone. Okay, the northern kingdom. They were already gone, man. They were already pushed out. A lot of them was already in the Americas, but the ones that were there, and that's another scripture. 6 14 speaks about how they should the rest a few of them shall be in my borders, which to speak about Judah, Benjamin, Levi. But the rest of the nation of Israel, they were dispersed out throughout the world, especially not only to the northern hemisphere of the earth, which is here in America, which Gad, Reuben, Issachar was around. But let me get back to the point. All right. And this is Matthew chapter 2 and verses 1. Okay. Then now when Yahweh Shah was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came the wise men from the east to Jerusalem, which were the wise men, which were the prophets, saying, where is that king? Where's born the king of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. That star was a chariot. And when Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and the scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Hamashiach should be born. And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus is written by the prophets. And though Bethlehem in the land of Judah art not the last among the prince of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Isaiah chapter 9. Then Herod, when he had let me grab Isaiah chapter 9 real quick. Let me grab real quick. And my sword. This is Isaiah chapter 9. Give me 1 second. Let me grab my sword real quick. It's Isaiah. It's Isaiah chapter 9. It's Isaiah 9, and I'm gonna get let me give verse 6. For unto us a child is born. For unto us, it's like Isaiah 9 and 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. And this is speaking about Yahweh Shai, of whom increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David, and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice. Henceforth, even forever, the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. Because Yahweh Shai, his kingdom is going to be forever, and that goes also into Daniel 7:25, because he's going to speak about that the sense of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess it. And we're going to possess through Yahweh Shai, because he's coming to take the kingdom. All right, he's going to have an everlasting rule when America goes down, which goes back to the fourth beast, the fourth kingdom. It was the clay. Well, it was mixed with Marty clay. All right, and it's it was broken. And that stone came and broke it, whatever represents Yahweh Shai. And then after that, when this kingdom goes down, which is America, Yahweh Shai and the elect, they're going to set up their kingdom upon the earth once this place goes down, which we're in right, which that time we're living right now. All right, so back in Matthew 2:6, and though Bethlehem in the land of Judea art not the least among the prince of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people. We just read in Isaiah 9, was it Isaiah 96? Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired to them diligently that what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when ye have found him, bring him word again that I may come and worship. That's why, Esau, so white man is a dragon. And let me get this real quick. Also on my sword, this speaks about because the so-called white man, let me get in it real quick. Revelation 14 and let me see, let me find it. The spirit speaks by scriptures. Oh yeah, this Revelation 14:11, and I behold another beast come up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spoke as a dragon. So, and then now this is speaking about America, but now you could also refer this back to Roman Empire, because as you had in America, you got the Democrats, Republicans, and in Rome you had the Flavians and Patricians. All right, but you see, Esau always speaks as a lamb, because see, Herod was trying to beguile, the wise men, trying to say, hey, I want to worship him. That's Esau, because that's how we know he professes himself as a lamb, but he speaks as a lion. He came humbly as a lamb. Hey, but that man's a complete fucking devil, man. That's why scriptures say that Psalms 58. It speaks about, hey man, the words of his mouth was smoother than Psalms 50. His words of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war was yet in his heart. So this is Esau, the so-called white man that we're talking about. So we know in his mind he has a different what you would say a tits. He has a different way of what you might think that he's trying to be nice, but this man is trying to be a demon. In other words. All right. So verses 9. And when they had heard the king, they depart, and lo, the star which thou saw it in the east, which the chariot went before them, tell it, come and stand over where the young man, when the young child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. And beginning wondered of the Most High in a dream that they should not return to Herod, that depart into their own country the other way. And then they were departed. Behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee the word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. And when he arose, he took the young child, which Yahushai, and his mother by night, and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that he might fulfill which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, unto Egypt have I called my son. And exactly, so now Herod was the man that was trying to chase the woman. Let's go back to Revelation 12 and 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, Roman Empire, Roman Empire. Behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. And in his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was Herod, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour the child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child whom was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And their child was caught up unto the Most High and his throne. Now speaking, when was Yahweh caught up to the Most High and his throne? When you read Acts, the first chapter, right? I'm gonna kind of go back and forth between the computer and my Bible, because make things a little more better, a little more efficient. So this is Acts chapter 1, right? So when was he called up? This is Acts chapter 1, and I'm gonna get the point. I'm gonna get verse. I'm gonna get 9. And when he had spoke these things, while they yet beheld him, he was taken up in a cloud and received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua was taken up from you into heaven, shall come likewise, like what's that? Which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. That's it, because those are the chariots. Okay, the chariots, like how just you read about how Elijah was taken up, Enoch was translated. Also, Yahushua was as well too by the chariots. The chariots took Yahushua up. So Revelation 12:5. And she brought forth a man child whom was to rule all nations with the rod of iron, read in Isaiah 9 and 5 and 6. And let me get this also. This Isaiah, another one too, is Isaiah 7. And it was verses 14. Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign, behold, a virgin, because virgin means I forgot what it meant, but I'm gonna get it. Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign, behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and she shall call his name Emmanuel, which means Emmanuel means God is with us. And I believe virgin means married woman. All right. And another thing too, that whole virgin birth doctrine is off. All right, because Mary and Joseph had what you have intercourse. All right, that's why Scripture say that this says in the book of Matthew, it says genealogy of the Lord Yahweh. When that whole genealogy goes back to the word sperma. All right, and so she be able to see the David. Okay, so a lot of individuals don't understand the scriptures. Guys like vocab alone. What I'm saying, all the other Christians, man, and other doctors, they don't understand the Bible. That whole virgin birth thing really that goes back to, I think it's Seramis. That's and it also goes back to women worship, man, worshiping the Queen of Heaven. That's why in the Christian church they put this shit so heavy to make the woman feel like she's significant. When at the end of the day, all the woman she's a servant. That's a lesson for another time. But let me get this point. Let me get this word for the word virgin. It's not off. It's my speaker not on. Salakia. Salakia. I think it's not even my bad. I'm not even turned up. Let me see something. Oh, damn it.
3 other notifications.
Strong's H 5959. Alma.
So Alma for the word virgin. The Greek word for the word Alma, virgin. So and it means virgin, young woman, and of marriageable age, and that's it. Well, woman of marriageable age when she first starts her period. All right, and so that's when a woman is of marriageable age when she first starts her period, whatever that age may be, and that's it's in the scriptures. All right, when a woman's of marriageable age, a virgin young woman of marriageable age. Okay, so all virgin means young woman, which is women that haven't had sex yet. All right, and it's that simple. But a lot of people don't understand. When we bring out these certain things, man, people they bug out when it comes out to the scriptures, man. People just act retarded. They don't have no understand. People really act retarded, man, when we bring these Bible out, man, because they don't understand it. It's too hard to understand. Anyway, so this is Isaiah 7 and 14. Therefore, the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son. He shall call his name Emmanuel. Which Emmanuel means God is with us, which was basically a prophetic name for Yahushua in that time of Isaiah. But butter and honey shall he eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good, which Yahushua did. For before the child shall know to refuse the evil and choose the good, the land that thou harvest shall be forsaken for her kings. All right, now let me go back to What was that? Revelation 12. Let me get this real quick. Revelation chapter 12 and verses let me see verses count. This is Revelation 12 and 5. It shall bring forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto the Most High, in which we into his throne, which we got that Acts chapter 1 and verses what was that 1 and 9. And this is Revelation 12 and 6. And the woman was fled into the wilderness, and where she have a place prepared for the Most High, that they should feed her 302 and 203 days, which is speaking about here in America, because this is what we were nurtured in, okay, during the time of slavery. All right. How do we know this is speaking about America? When you go to Revelation 11, Revelation 11, and let me grab it real quick. Revelation 11. It's Revelation 11. All right, concerning our slavery. All right, because there was a certain time that Esau was going to rule over us. He was going to speak great things against us, right? Blaspheming heaven, blaspheming who we are. All because if you ever read the best movie to honestly watch to really see that him speaking great things is watch Goodbye. I think it's called was it Goodbye Uncle Tom's Cabin or Goodbye Uncle Tom? One of them. All right, it's a good movie. Now it's gonna make you mad. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit that Esau did to us, but you're gonna see him speak very great things in that movie. You know, I think it's called Goodbye Uncle Tom. Yeah, that's the movie it's called. And now this is Revelation 11, and I'm gonna get verses let me get Revelation. This is Revelation 11 and verses verse 3. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,203 days, close sackcloth. And that's speaking about concerning us our slavery, because we were supposed to serve slavery a certain amount of time. All right, because we were let loose out of slavery. All right, that goes into 3.5 years. Two witnesses. Okay, and that's 360, and that's 365 years that we should be in captivity. But speaking of 365 years, we should stand up on our feet and we shall prophesy. All right, we shall teach. That's when the breath was put back in and starting with Elder Abba Bivens when he first came on the scene, 1914, and all the way from 1914 to 1970. That's when Esau started coming down, because when you had One West come into play, you had Elder Abba Bivens, you had Elder High Priest Yaqua, Elder High Priest Ariyah, and Elder High Priest King Mashah, right? And those men taught our apostles and elders. And now you had the elders and bishops, and now you have us teaching this word and bringing it out. And this is the beginning of, and this is what Esau's coming. Esau's kingdom is going down now, because while the truth is out. All right. So now we're at Revelation 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and dragon fought and his angels. We're speaking about now in this time. And now angels are speaking about let me get it again. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought his angels. So it's going to be a war between Esau and Yahushua when after World War III takes place. When World War III takes place, Yahushua is going to come in the clouds of heaven, and we're going to go to war with this devil. Okay, now this did not happen yet. This is new prophecy. All right, because this didn't happen yet, because we're not in the kingdom of heaven. Now you had it. Now there's records of in the time, I believe in Rome, that they seen chariots, and then we started fighting against Esau. But no, that was a different time. There's actual you can go look it up. Chariots of Rome, UFOs in Rome. It comes up. It speaks about that. They were seeing UFOs in Rome, and it was encouraging the Israel to fight against Esau, right? Fight against Esau really, because it's 70 AD. Okay, that's that big day. That whole thing happened. All right, but let me grab this real quick. Let me grab this and make this because understanding. This is Matthew 25, right? Matthew 25 in verses Matthew 25. And let me find it real quick. The dragon is Matthew 25. So like, give me 1 second. Let me find the spirit. Let me kind of look through. me see. Should be here somewhere around there. The 20 something verse, 40th verse. So I just read it yesterday. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna find it. Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta read it up and down real quick. 25. Was it 26? 5 wise. Oh damn. Take therefore. Go. Damn. Okay, come on, here we go. Right, I got right here. This is Matthew 25. And I'm gonna get verses 30. And when the Son of Man shall come into his glory, and all his holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall gather together all nations, he shall separate them one from another, as a sheep divideth as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Then shall the kingdom say unto them, on my right hand, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungered. Damn, it's not it. It's like it. Come on, somewhere in 25. Depart. Slacking for that. I can't slack it. Give me for that. But it's another scripture that teaches about it in Matthew 25th chapter. Let me try to see if I can reference this real quick, and it might pop up. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 26th chapter. But it speaks about it in Matthew 25th chapter about the devil and his angels, which because Esau's messengers is his military. You know, those are the ones that fight for him. You know, I just want to make that point clear. But it's all good. Let me see. Let me go back to where I was at. I heard voice in heaven. 9. Serpent and devil prepared with the place found from heaven. Let me see. Let me see references. Maybe this might come up. It might come up in Matthew. It might come up because I know it's in Matthew somewhere. But if not, it's all good. It's all good. You know, brothers can put it in the put it down in the comment section or whatever. Let me see. It's all good. Anywho, so back to the point. This is back in Matthew. It's gonna bother me too. But it's called this is Matthew chapter. This is back in Matthew. This is Matthew back in Revelation 12. And let me get verses Matthew chapter 12 and 8. And prepare not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, because Esau's going to go down. Esau's going to get put down when Yahweh Shai returns. See, Esau's going to get put completely down when Yahweh Shai comes back, because he's not going to be found no more in heaven, because his rulership is at an end. His rulership is at an end, man. Okay, and now this is Revelation 12 and 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power, and the kingdom in our power, and the power of Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, was accused them before our power day and night. That's those Rothschilds and elites, because they sit upon their bed thinking mischief, according to Micah the 4th chapter. They sit upon their beds making mischief of how to destroy us. Because a lot of shit that Esau does, you know, he looks back at the Lord. Look what your people doing. Look what they doing. I got them eating pork. I got them doing this. I got them doing that. You know. And that's Revelation 12 and 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, which is truth. And they loved not their lives to the death. And that means the elect don't love their lives to the death. Hey, we're all about Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We're all about this truth. You know, we're all about this word, man. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye earth that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down unto you having great wrath, because nobody has short time. This we're living in right now. So we're living in that time when Satan, Esau, some white man, knows that he had but a shorter time. He knows his time is running out. So he's going to push forth his new agenda, his MOTB, And if you don't go take it, he's gonna put forth their hand upon you. He's gonna really try to get you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the script say, hey, if it was so, they're trying to deceive the very own elect. You can't deceive the elect, man. You can't deceive the men of the they had to understand the scripture, because why? Where we go, where the elect, man. You can't deceive the elect. It's like, Esau's cardinal. He's trying to deceive the elect, man. You can't do that. Which are witchcraft and shit. This is Revelation 12:13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast out of the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. Speaking about, into the woman were given 2 wings, a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nurtured for a time and a half a time, and the time from the face of the serpent. And that's speaking about us going to the west parts of Africa when the time of 70 AD. Right, I'm gonna make it make sense. This is let me get it. This is Daniel chapter 9 and verse 26. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself and the people, or the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end therefore, and shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war, desolation and domination and determination and let me get the determination. Let me kind of slide my guy over quick. Determined. So this is back in Daniel 9, and so determined, because it's speaking about, and after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, right? But not for himself and the people of the prince, that they shall come and shall destroy the city and sanctuary, and the end therefore shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war, desolation and determined. So speaking about 70 AD, because after when Yahushua passed, that's when that's around when 7. That's when Yahushua was the end of the world. Yahushua was the beginning and the end of the world. So that's when Yahushua gave up the Holy Ruach HaKodesh. Then after that took place 70 AD. And 70 AD is when Esau came in with a flood, which started with Titus. Which really Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Okay, because Vespasian was the father of Titus and Domitian. Okay, so Titus, was heavy about persecuting Israel. That's when the persecution really started heavy when Titus, okay, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation, and cause for the over sub. Like it. Got this word too. Salakia. Bear with me, brother. Salakia. Make sure I'm saying these things right.
Overspread.
Overspread. So now, overspread of the abomination, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation. The con. Got this word too. Consummation, and that they determined shall be poured upon the desolate. And that's happened because Romans came in, they seized the temple, they took it down, they destroyed it, the Romans. And that's what Yahweh said, I shall build the third temple, and you can't throw that one down. We're speaking about what? The third temple, speaking about what? Us, the elect. Because we represent the third temple of the Lord that's being brought up right now. Okay, spiritually. Because we ever since 70 AD, the temple has been destroyed, but it's being built up right now. Started with Abba Bivens, right? Which we know is Elijah the prophet. With Elder Yaquab, High Priest Ariah, Keeman Shah, and the elders and apostles and the elder bishops. It's on down. It's that begins with us, man. We're the rebuilding of that temple, the house of David. That David was fallen. So this is back in Revelation. In the mountain. Let me get back to Revelation. It's Revelation 12, and I was at what? And therefore, Slakia, persecute the woman, man, child. Oh, it counts. It's Revelation 12 and 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nurtured for a time and at times and a half a times from the face of the serpent. And that's speaking about when we flow into the west parts of Africa. And the serpent cast out, and I'm gonna get let me grab this too. Also, Matthew chapter 24 and 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, we just read that in Daniel chapter 9. All right, in the prophet, and stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. Let them which in Judea flee into the mountains. Let them which is on the housetops not come down and take anything out of their house, because we're going through heavy persecution. And it's also, you read that in the book of Josephus, the antiquity of the Jews, and it goes into how there was millions of Israelites being just littered in the street with just dead bodies, man. Dead bodies. We were being burned on crosses. Hey, man, it was heavy persecution that time. And it's going to happen again. Esau's going to do it all over again. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains, which were the west coast of Africa. I'm going to grab a book to prove that point. Let him which is one on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Because y'all started saying, hey, man, shit's about to go down. So if you ain't got time. And another thing too, you and Jacob Shepherd, we ain't going to have time to bullshit. You got to get up on your high horse and bounce, man. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on a Sabbath day. For there shall great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor so shall it be. Except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. So for now, speaking about now, because for our sake, hey, these days are going by fast, man, because the prophecies are taking off. We live in the time of the end. But the whole point of that scripture, the whole point was I wanted to do was get for there shall be a great tribulation, such as since the beginning of the world to this time, nor shall it be. So because in the time of 70 AD, that was a terrific fucking time for us, man. That was a terrific time. Like, that was a bad time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot of murder that was going on because Esau was putting he put a whoop ass on us, man. You know, Esau was getting down on Jake in the time of 70 AD. But let me go grab this real quick. Now, this is from Babylon Take Book 2, written by Arthur Winsler. All right, and so let me just get this page 80. You can read it on page 84. And in the year 650 BC, the Roman armies under General Ptolemy, Pompey, captured Jerusalem in 70 AD, and General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish cities with a great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of princes of many. Let me just go straight to the point, right? So that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. That the slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. So and that's it, because we fled 1 million. So 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution. That's it, because millions of Jews fled going into Africa from the Romans, man. 1 million Jews. That's what I was to say, flee into the mountains, man. That was the west coast of Africa. That's because we was fleeing from the face of the serpent, and we should have rest, because at a certain point in time we was at risk. You know what I'm saying? Jake was living, had societies over in the west coast of Africa, things of that nature. You know, Jake was doing all right for a little bit of time over there in Africa, man. Because we feel that, because why? We know that the Hamites, we all look alike. And we kind of look alike, man. That's why I was trying to told to flee into those mountains, man. Get the hell up out of here, because you niggas about to go through great persecution. And you had some left, 1 million left in some, like I said, it's in some state. And the ones that stayed, man, they got done bad, man. You know, they got done bad. So this also so now this is Revelation 12:15, and the serpent cast out. Oh yeah, and but let me get 14. And the woman were given to her two wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, which we just read, into her place, the west coast, the west part of Africa, where she is nurtured for a time and times and a half of times from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out his mouth waters as a flood after the woman, that she might cause her to be carried away from the flood and his armies. And we just read that also in Daniel 9 speaks about it came as a flood. And Isaiah 59:19 says, "It's a flood, the name of the Lord from the west and from the east and from the rising of the sun. When the enemies are coming like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord should look up and standing against them." So understanding what flood grows into armies. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And that's going to now, because we know we're Israelites. Because now we had to understand the truth. So now, like we said again, there was a point in time, right, that Esau was speaking great things against us. He had a mouth speaking great things, and no one was speaking up against him. But now we, in this time, starting with our Bivens on down, we're now speaking against this man. You know what I'm saying? Now we're stopping his flood. That what he's been saying. That we're no people. Hosea in the 1:10. Scripture said that what in the land they shall say ye are no people. But there's let me get it. Let me grab it. I'm butchering the scripture bad. This is Hosea chapter 1 and verse 10. All right, let me grab it because you know what I'm saying I don't want to butcher the scriptures. It's Hosea 1 and 10. It's Hosea 1. It's Hosea chapter 1 and verses 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, which can not be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in that place where it was said unto them, "Ye are not my people." So here we were taught that we were so-called Africans, we swinging on fucking trees. We ain't had no culture. We were basically a no people. That's what Esau was telling us. That's what I said again. That movie is called Goodbye Uncle Tom. All right, and it was going to tell Esau was speaking about Jake that we were meant to be slaves. We were inferior people. We were no people. We basically weren't shit. All right. It shall come to pass that in the place that where it was said unto them, "Ye are not my people," there it shall be said unto them, "Ye are the sons of the living power." Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel gather together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come out of the land. For a great shall be the day of Jezreel. And that's speaking about now. We're going to come great out of this land because this place is about to be destroyed. Because we're looking right now, hey man, America's about to start this war. World War III is about to take place. Hey, Russia, Iran, it's about to go down, man. So we're living in heavy biblical times. All right. So we're about to get delivered about this bitch. But now let me go back to where I was at. Revelation 12 and 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And we saw because we're scripture say the words of warfare are not carnal, but mind through the Most High pulling down strongholds. So we're pulling down the strongholds that Esau taught against us. Everything that Esau taught against us, we're pulling it down through the Spirit of Yahweh by Shem Shai. We're breaking it down day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, and which kept the commandments of the Lord and have the testimony of Yahweh Mashiach. And now we know a woman can't have seed. But now this was symbolic. Because back in the garden, when you read Genesis 3 and 15, I will put enmity between thine and thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So it's going to be a constant confliction against the two nations, which is Esau, which is Jacob and Esau. Going from Genesis 25. We were warned in the womb of our mother Rebecca, man. Because why? There was forever enmity between Jacob and Esau, even from the time of the garden. So there'll be forever war with Esau and Jacob. And that's why Jacob always want to have peace with the so-called white man. Well, that's impossible. Because the scriptures say that it'll be forever war. One's gonna have to rule over the other. You know what I'm saying? We can never be equal, man. We're not created equal. And as we just read there also. And in Revelation and Matthew 25th chapter, when Yahweh said we're going to separate the nations. So we're a separate people. We have nothing to do with Esau and Edom. Now, yes, they're our brother, right? They come out of line of shit, but they're wicked as hell. We got no dealings with the house of Esau, man. They're gonna go in captivity. And for niggas that say that Esau can't be saved, hey man, look, Yahweh Shem Yahshai ain't dealing with you, man. All right, it's just that simple. Yahweh Shem Yahshai ain't dealing with niggas like that. All right. So with that, I pray us edifying. I just want to give all praise to Abba Yahweh, by Shem Yahshai, by Shem Kakodash. The Bible be to the elders, Apostle Great Millstone, talk to the Spirit, charge His truth to the Spirit. With that, Shalom.